To underestimate how much your personalities, desires, and goals are likely to change in the future. We tend to never learn the lesson. Given research shows people from age 18 to 68 underestimate how much they will change in the future. Warren Buffett became so successful it's because they kept doing the same thing for decades on end, letting compounding run wild. But many of us revolve so much over a lifetime that we don't want to keep doing the same thing for decades on end. I know young people who purposefully live austere lives with a little income and they're perfectly happy with it. Then there are those who work their tails off to pay for a life of luxury and they're perfectly happy with that. Both have risks, the former reason being unprepared to raise a family or fund retirement, the latter risk regret that you spent your useful and healthy years in a cubicle. Regrets are especially painful when you abandon a previous plan and feel like you have to run the other direction twice as fast to make up for lost time. Compounding works best when you can give a plan years or decades to grow. This is true for not only savings but careers and relationships. Endurance is key, and when you consider our tendency to change who we are over time, balance at every point in your life becomes a strategy to avoid the future regrets and encourage endurance. Aiming at every point in your working life to have a moderate annual savings, moderate free time, no more than a moderate commute, and at least moderate time with your family increases the odds of being able to stick with a plan and avoid the regret that, if any, one of those things fall to the extreme sides of this spectrum. Oh my gosh, okay. It's okay. The trick is to accept the reality of change and move on as soon as possible. Okay, as the equivalent of a stranger making major life decisions for you. Embracing the idea that financial goals made when you are a different person should be abandoned without the mercy versus and put on life support and dragged on can be a very good strategy to minimize any future regret. The quicker it's done, the sooner you can get back to compounding. Next, let's talk about compounding's price of admission. Every job looks easy when you're not the one doing it. Most things are harder in practice than they are in theory. Sometimes this is because we are overconfident. More often, it's because we are not good at identifying what the price of success is, which prevents us from being able to pay it. All you had to do was sit back and let your money compound. But of course, successful investing looks easy when you're not the one doing it. Yes, definitely. Hold the stocks in for a long run. You will hear. That's good advice. But do you know how hard it is to maintain a long-term outlook when stocks are collapsing? Like everything else worthwhile, successful investing demands a price. But its currency is not dollars and cents. It's volatility, fear, doubt, uncertainty, and regret, all of which are easy to overlook until you are dealing with them in real time. This is the price of market returns, the fee. It is the cost of admission, and it hurts. Individual investors fall for this when making their own investments too. The result of buying and selling when they should have just bought it. excelled. The question is, why do so many people who are willing to pay the price for cars, houses, food, and vacations try to hard to avoid paying the price of good investment returns? The answer is simple. The price of investing success is not immediately obvious. It sounds trivial, but thinking of market volatility as a fee rather than a fine is an important part of developing the kind of mindset that lets you stick around long enough for investing gains to work in your favor. Market returns are never free and never will be. They demand you pay a price like any other product. You are not forced to pay this fee. Same with the markets, the volatility or uncertainty fee. The price of returns is the cost of admission to get returns greater than low fee perks like in cash and bonds. The trick is convincing yourself that the market's fee is worth it. That's the only way to properly deal with the volatility and uncertainty, not just in putting up with it, but realizing that it's an admission fee worth paying. Mhm. It's hard to overstate how socially devastating financial bubbles can be. They ruin lives. Why do these things happen? And why do they keep happening? Why can't we learn our lessons? The common answer here is that people are greedy, and the greed is an indelible feature of human nature. They may be true, and it's a good enough answer for most. But remember from chapter 1, no one is crazy. People make financial decisions they regret, and they often do so with uh, scarce information and without logic. But the decision made sense to them when they were made. Blaming bubbles on greed and stopping their misses important lessons about how and why people rationalize what in hindsight didn't look like greedy decisions. When investors have different goals and time horizons, and they do in every asset class, prices that look ridiculous to one person can make sense to another because the factors those investors didn't pay attention to are different. Momentum attracts in short-term traders in reasonable way. That process feeds on itself. The traders and push up short-term returns. They attract way more traders before long, and it often doesn't take long. The dominant market price setter with the most authority are those with a shorter time horizon. Investors, particularly the ones setting prices, were not thinking about the next 20 years. What do you expect the people to do when momentum creates a big short-term return potential? See and watch patiently. Never. That's not how world works. The main thing, I'm sorry, here, it's hard to grasp that there are investors and have different goals than we do because an anchor of psychology is not realizing that rational people can see the world through a different lens than your own. Rising prices and persuade all investors in ways the best markets envy. They're a drug that can turn value-conscious investors into dewy-eyed optimists, detaching from their own reality by the actions of someone playing a different game than they are. The main thing I can recommend is going out of your way to identify what game you're playing. How I invested my own money is detailed in the chapter 20, but years ago I wrote out, I am a passive investor optimistic in the world's ability to generate real economic growth, and I'm confident that over the next 30 years, that growth will accrue to my investments. This might seem quaint, But once you write this mission statement down, you realize everything that's unrelated to it. What the market did this year, or whether we have a recession next year, is part of the game. I'm not playing, so I don't pay attention to it and am in no danger of being persuaded by it. Real optimists don't believe that everything will be great. That's in complacency. Optimism is a belief that the odds of a good outcome are in your favor over time, even when there will be setbacks along the way. The simple idea is that most people wake up in the morning trying to make things a little better, and the more productive they wake up looking to cause trouble is the foundation of optimism. It's not complicated, it's not guaranteed either. I suggested the most reasonable bet for most people, most of the time. The race statisticians had Rudy put it differently. I am not an optimist. I am a very serious possibilities. Oh my gosh. I'm not an optimist. I'm a very serious possibilities. Okay. I love this book. Whenever I read this book, which made me feel so calm and fulfilled. Okay, most people, when confronted with something they don't understand, do not realize they don't understand it because they're able to come up with an explanation that makes sense based on their unique perspective and experiences in the world. However, limited those experiences are, we all want to complicate a world we live in and make sense. So we tell ourselves in stories to fill in the gaps of what we are effectively blind spots. Coming to terms with how much you don't know means coming to terms with how much of what happens in the world is out of your control, and they can be hard to accept. Illusion of predictability. Oh my gosh. Okay. Illusion of predictability. People know this. I have not met an investor who genuinely thinks the market forecast as a whole are accurate and useful. But there's still tremendous demand for forecasts in both the media and the foreign financial advisors. Okay. Congratulations, you are still reading. It's time to together a few things we've learned. This chapter is a bit of a summary, a few short and actionable lessons that can help you make a better financial decisions. Because it's never as good or as bad as it looks. The world isn't big and complex. Luck and risk are both real and hard to identify. Do so when judging both yourself and others. Respect the part of luck and risk, and you will have a better chance of focusing on things you can actually control. You'll also have a better chance of finding the right role model. Less ego, more wealth. Saving money is the gap between your ego and your income, and the wealth is what you don't see. So, wealth is created by suppressing what you could buy today in order to have more stuff or more options in the future. That's different from saying you should aim to earn the highest returns or save a specific percentage of your income. Some people want to sleep well unless they're earning the highest returns. Others will only get a good rest if they're conservatively invested. To each their own, but the foundation of "Does this help me sleep at night?" is the best universal guided post for all financial decisions. If you want to do better as an investor, the single most powerful things you can do is increase your time horizon. Time is the most powerful force in investing. It makes the little things grow big and big, makes them fade away. It can neutralize luck and risk, but it pushes results closer towards what people deserve. Because a small minority thinks it can afford the majority of outcomes. No matter what you're doing with your money, you should be comfortable with a lot of stuff not working. That's just in how the world is. So you should always measure how you've done by looking at your full portfolio rather than individual investments. Use money to gain control over your time because not having control of your time is such powerful and the universal drag on happiness. The ability to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, as well as you want to, pays the highest dividend that exists in finance. Okay, my eyes so tired and hurt. That's why I should stop here. Yeah, I still wanted to sip and of course I really wanted to read it more but my eye hurts. So I should stop here. I should just give it time to take a rest for my eyes. Okay. Good job, Irene. Thank you.